People contact me every day to help them open up companies and ultimately open up bank accounts so that they can get paid by their clients, pay their employees, and basically grow their business. Just be an entrepreneur because in other countries, either the taxes are high or it's too hard to operate a business, or maybe they can't really open a bank account. I know in Latin America and Colombia and different countries, it's just a drag. In other countries, prohibitively expensive, or it just takes too long, or there's too much like compliance you have to do. So opening US bank accounts is really great. And because I help so many people do this and I help them, avoid unnecessary taxes and do everything the right way, I get to see what works and what doesn't work. And there's been a recent shift in what's allowable when opening US bank accounts. And I talk about banks all the time because it's just so important to my clients and it's changing so much. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about like some new developments and some hacks on how you can get your accounts open. And this is going to be a technical screen sharing step-by-step video. So you're going to want to bookmark it and share it with a friend. And you really need to know this ideally before you open an LLC. I might make a separate video, do this before you open an LLC just so I can get those people on there, because if you open an LLC with the wrong address, then you have to change it or just open another one. So this is something that's really important to check out. So main hack is having the right address and having the right proof of address. And I'm going to go through how to find different addresses that work, how to confirm that they're the right address with different online tools, how to use those addresses to register, and then how to get a utility bill for those addresses. And this is all you need, because you'll come out of this when we're done with an LLC. I mean, assuming you want an LLC, but you'll come out of this with an address, a utility bill, and you take those to the bank and then you open a bank account. This is the rating system of the US addresses and what you kind of need to know when opening an LLC, because if you don't have a physical address or a correct address in the US, then you're not going to be able to get a bank account open very easily. Because what most people do is they open a company with like Northwest or LegalZoom or Inkfile, and they get the address that they provide them along with the other 50,000 people that use the same address. And because of that, the banks know it's not a real physical address. So I'm going to show you how to find one that is a real physical address. Now, in the grand scheme of things, the best way is to have a personal residential address. And that would be like at a house, a cousin, a friend, a family member. And I'll show you how to find one online that you can pay for in the video. And then physical business address, which is like a real space that you lease out. The second best way is a US residential address and maybe a virtual business address. That's fine, and you can open a bank account anywhere. Third best is going to be a foreign residential and physical business address, and the last one is going to be a foreign and foreign, and you can't really open accounts like that. This came up because Relay and Mercury recently changed their policies, and Mercury requires you to have a foreign proof of address at least. So Mercury will allow you to do, kind of allows you to do this, but it's not that easy, and you have to still present your foreign proof of address of where you actually live. Okay, so this is where we're going to. Now, you say, James, I live in Brazil or I live in Ecuador. How am I supposed to get an address in the US? I have no family there, but I need this US bank account. I'm like, well, great. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So there are so many of them. iPostal One is very popular. Texas Registered Agent. A lot of these use the same companies. Regis is one. Alliance. What I've found is really awesome is this one called Anytime Mailbox. I like it because they have all these addresses and they're not like affiliated with anything, and they're all just random addresses. So, and you can have a mailing address in any state. It doesn't really matter what your LLC is. We open LLCs for clients in Wyoming and we use our office as the business address. So if you click on Texas, you're going to get all of these different addresses. And what you really need to identify is that it's not a CMRA, a commercial mailing agency. Now, everyone got these letters from Mercury Bank, and it says they no longer accept registered agent addresses or a mail center or a PO box, and they don't accept those. So if you're getting an LLC from some third-party LLC place, they're going to just give you a business address. It's going to be the same as a registered agent. Well, you can't get an account open, so you have to come through here first and get this set up first. So I'm going to pick at this one. Look at Allen Century Parkway. This is one. It's $40 a month. It's $40 a month, which makes me think that it might be a cool one. So there's this other tool that I found on the internet called Smarty. I don't have an affiliate link because it's basically free. They give you 1,000 free searches when you sign up. So I'm going to I went to Tools after I signed up, and I went to Single Address Verification. And then here I'm going to drop in that address. And it's going to say, okay, this is where it is on the map. Cool. It's next to a Kroger. Interesting. Now we can look at the stats, right? First, CMRA, it's not a CMRA. It's not a private mailbox operator. So that's good because we have a no there. It says vacant, no. So it's not vacant. And you can see they can coordinate via rooftop, and it looks like RDI. It is a commercial address. So this could be a business address, and you could sign up for this. You get it, and you can use it, and then we get some kind of utility bill, which I'll show you in the next half of the video. Now, there's some addresses on here, like this one, I believe. It's coming through for 40 a month, so it's not cheap. This one's also coming in as commercial, and this is not a CMRA either. I thought this was residential. Some of these come through as residential, and if they come through as residential, you can use it as your personal address. Confirmed CMRA. See, this one's a CMRA and it's present UPS data. It's associated with a valid CMRA. So this is not going to work. It's probably going to be more professional, but it's not going to work for a physical business address for your LLC. So that's really important. So you need to, if you can't establish a personal address would be best, and then you can use the virtual address that they give you if you have a proof of address for the personal address, and that'll work. And I'll show you what proof of addresses we kind of look for. So virtual postal mail is something that I've seen. They have these true lease addresses, true lease residential address. They're just $200 a month, and they give you a utility bill. And if you look at the true residence addresses, they basically have like this building. I don't know if they own the whole building, but they definitely own the mailroom. And they give you an address, and any mail that goes there, this is your address. You just get a suite or an apartment. People go nuts about the sales taxes. The sales taxes determine where you're selling your products, not really the services. So it's really weird. This one's $400 a month, so maybe you can actually stay there. That's a lot. Wow, $400 a month. I didn't realize that. I could rent them out. I guess that you might actually get the real apartment. So the idea is that like they have an apartment, they rent it out to 5 different people. 5 people can use it as a residential address, and that's the maximum people that can use it as an address at one time. I don't know the limit or how they're doing it, but it's pretty cool. It's a cool option. It's just really expensive. The cheap way to do it is just to find someone who's offering their residential coded address on one of these services and just pay them. Let's try one more because I want to find one that is residential. And you only get 1,000 searches for free, so you might have to create 2 accounts. Commercial still. So you're gonna have to search around a little bit until you find one that is residential, and then from there we get to our second part, which is going to be on here just some ideas. If you can fly to the US and open a personal bank account with an address, whether it's your cousin, your brother, your uncle, or one that you buy on Anytime Mailbox, get a bank account. That's gonna be your best option. A personal credit card statement, if you have an ITIN, is the second best option. You know, Capital One, Amex, whatever. They have this thing, Vonage Home Internet, that I've been heard works. I'm still testing it out. If you look at that, it's going to be like $9 a month. I think that'll work for a residential address, which I'm going to find one. Tello is a phone service. Connect by T-Mobile are the cheapest phone services that are as low as $9 a month. Again, you should probably have some kind of mail forwarding because they'll probably send a chip to that address, and then you have to pay a statement to get a bill. But with these statements, you should be able to open most bank accounts and say, hey, look, this is my residential address. I have a phone bill. I've heard a Netflix account can work, but anything that kind of shows that you live there. Like obviously the best are utility bills, gas bills, water bills, home internet are going to be better. There's also going to be more expensive, and you're probably going to have to actually live there, but maybe your cousin will let you pay their bills for 2 months. Another thing is that subleases don't really work anymore. So if you have like an informal sublease from a family member. It works for American Express for opening an American Express card. You need to have the right address to open these bank accounts. It's best hack is to have a personal address, something in your name and a personal address, even if it's home internet is great. I was going to try Starlink, but it's pretty expensive. The second best is having a physical business address, again, with a utility bill. And once you're able to get something together and you get that bank account opened, then you can use your bank statements, your personal bank statements, as a proof of address for basically whatever you need. That's why the Chase bank statements are great. And if you're from outside the country and you have money and you don't want to deal with this, again, you can contact me and my team. We can solve it for you. We can open Chase accounts, bank accounts without traveling, without managers. We have a connection at the bank that helps us do it. Contact us. You can schedule a free call with us. I'm trying to put out good content that explains this to you. So thanks for being here, and let me know if I'm missing anything in the video. I have some other videos coming up. I'm going to be applying for all of these and probably putting them on the channel, the applications, to show you kind of what to expect. And then at the end, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe because I'm also going to be putting up the videos of how it went with me using virtual addresses and, I mean, these physical addresses and these utility bills to get bank accounts opened for myself in the U.S. I know I'm a U.S. Citizen, resident, whatever, but I'm gonna use just my regular driver's license, and I'm not gonna use that address. I'm gonna use the other address. I'm gonna push and make sure that they allow those. So let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much.